Hello, strong people. Welcome to my series on
Starting the journey to stop self-hatred.
This is my 18th day of encouraging people to stop hating themselves. So, Bismillah, let's start on learn how to sit with your pain without fighting it. So, it means allowing yourself to feel what you feel without judgment, without avoidance, by letting reality be exactly as it is. Only then can it truly be understood and accepted. This is a form of inner acceptance. In short, learning to sit with your pain means recognizing the one who's been at war with all along. In other words, it's about knowing yourself on a deeper level. So first, find your safe space. This includes your place, time, and even the people around you. For me, being in a place surrounded by people and dozens of faces doesn't bring peace. It actually triggers my anxiety. But if it works for you, that's completely cool and fine. Find a place where your mind feels light, your breath feels easier, and your mood feels calm and happy. Personally, I find comfort in my room and a library too, and oddly enough, just sitting in the car for no particular reason. It makes me happy sometimes. Also, find your comfort time. The time that feels best for you to connect with yourself, reflect on your feelings, tend to your wounds, and sort through your tangled thoughts. I personally like this silence right before the Subuh prayer, even though at that time my soul still feels fragile. But I know it is when my heart is at its safest and calmest. It is a moment where I can cry, I can read, and talk deeply to Allah. I think it's also the best time to write down my thoughts while crying so my mom doesn't hear me. I'm shy. And also find your perfect time to reflect on your feelings, to be openly vulnerable with yourself, and to welcome whatever emotions come up. Because when you keep piling up untangled feelings, thoughts, and emotions, it only deepens your wounds. And trust me, it will make the next day even harder. So let's normalize not bottling up emotions, okay? Because they're like a I've said it many times because they're like a time bomb. And do not forget your people. Find your people. But before that, your relationship with God is a must. Guys, we're just human. Do not be cocky. Open your eyes. What can we really do on our own in this world? Do you really think you've come this far only because of your own efforts and hard works? No. You might fly across the horizon, travel the world, trying to find peace, calm, and answers about life. But believe me, even though I have never been to another country, but I can promise you this. You don't have to go around the world to find those answers, because the answers have always been in your faith. The peace you've been searching for is in your relationship with your God. So to truly understand life is to understand Islam. So always depend on Allah in your journey, okay? Okay, we continue. In meeting your people, make sure you prioritize quality over quantity. You don't need a whole city to be your friend in order to not feel alone or lonely. You just need a few who share the same frequency as you, especially when it comes to spirituality and core principles in life. I don't have that many friends, but what I have learned so far is the best way to find your true friends is by being your completely authentic selves. The ones who match your vibe will naturally stick with you. And honestly, being able to be my truest, my honest self around my friends without any fakeness and judgment is such a healing part of my life. Even as an introvert, I feel that when I talk or spend time with my real friends, I do get tired, but never mentally drained. In fact, I actually want to hang out again. Like, I'm addicted to it. I want to meet them again. Why? Because we share the same vibe and energy. We laugh about our past selves, talk about our future plans, we support each other and genuinely listen to each other and care for one another. I don't know how else to describe it, but some people are like medicine. They heal wounds you didn't even know were still there. Second, stop pushing away your pain. This too is a form of inner acceptance. For example, when I was a kid, I once fell off my bike. People around me started to look and laugh at me, and I wanted to cry immediately, but my mom immediately said, "Shh, don't cry, you don't have to cry, hold it together." Honestly, I was mad about it because whenever I held back my tears like that, my neck would tense up and hurt. It hurt. Little did I know, holding in emotions would later become my specialty, and not in a good way. Here's the thing, when you push away pain or emotion, it's like piling up lava inside a volcano. And when it gets overloaded, it explodes. In other words, pushing away pain doesn't make it disappear, it builds up. The hurt stacks higher and higher until eventually you cannot hold it in anymore and you burst. All the unprocessed pain comes out at once, messy, raw, and overwhelming. Instead of rejecting your emotions, you know what? Try welcoming them. No judgment, just honesty. Say things like, "Oh, I do feel sad. Astaghfirullah, I am really angry. This really disappointed me." And you know what? That is okay. You're not lying to yourself. Because by allowing yourself to feel them, you are giving your pain and burdens the space to leave your crowded mind. But you don't just welcome them and let them stay over in your thoughts. You reflect on them. Ask yourself, why do I feel this way? Why am I feel so upset about this? Understand yourself. Learn about yourself. Get to know yourself better. Because once you find those answers, you'll handle future situations, especially the one that trigger your pain, with more strength and wisdom than before. Third, start being more gentle with yourself. Do not let yourself get used to rushing through everything. Do not let your emotions constantly spiral into anger or chaos. Do not normalize living in a rowdy state. It's not worth it. Like, chill, take a deep breath. Not everything needs to be taken so seriously. Yes, of course, you have responsibilities, so do them. But do them calmly, coolly, and even joyfully. Because for me, when I wake up in a rush and everything feels hectic in the morning, I usually get into a bad mood. It's easy for me into a mood swing, feel hungry right away, and get irritated over the smallest, simplest thing. But when I take it slow and stay focused, my whole day feels lighter. Do you guys remember that when we were students taking final exams, we were asked to sit quietly and focus in silence? That is because deep focus often comes from calm, quiet energy. The same goes for our minds. When we need to think clearly, it is easier when we are calm, not panicking or rushing. I know it can be hard, especially for those who struggle with focus or have ADHD, but even starting slowly to be more gentle with yourself, physically, mentally, and emotionally, makes a big difference. So next time you feel overwhelmed or panic, just pause. Take a deep breath, let it all out, and gently remind yourself, it is okay, inshallah, I can handle this with calm and ease. Lastly, I want you to understand this. You are not broken just because you feel pain. You just need to feel more heard and held, especially by you. No matter how harsh or bitter the world and the people around you can be, make sure you are someone who always has your own back. You pray to Allah for strength, and then you stand up and strengthen yourself too. Inshallah, you are going to live a long life, and there's no guarantee that the strength you have today will always be enough for the challenges tomorrow may bring. Even so, that is okay. Because first, you have Allah, and second, you have yourself. When you believe that Allah will guide you through, you also need to believe in yourself too. You need to believe that you've got this. If you are pessimistic about yourself, how will you be able to handle your life? You have your own life. You need to handle your own life. Be optimistic of yourself. If bad things happen, it's okay to cry. Crying doesn't mean you're weak. It means your heart is finally letting itself feel. So it is okay to feel sad. But remember to get back up again, because you need you. You need to heal, and your pain doesn't. Welcome it. Feel it. Acknowledge it. Understand it. Handle it. Move on from it. Repeat. It's always been a cycle. So if you are somewhere in the middle of that cycle, don't worry. You will move on from it. As long as you bravely choose to take one step at a time. Remember that you are so strong, not because you never cry, not because you always get it right, but because you keep going, even when it hurts, even when you feel unsure, even when no one else sees the weight you're carrying. So don't stop believing and don't stop moving forward, okay? Inshallah, life is still long and there are many beautiful things awaiting ahead of us. Okay, that is all for episode 18. In the next video of episode 19, we will talk about be angry for yourself, not at yourself. What do you guys think? Leave your comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and remember, I am so proud of you for today and always. And let's meet again in the next video, inshallah. Assalamualaikum.